decrees. Let's get it. Mark and Will, yeah. Mark and Will, yeah. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Monday through Friday, player. Watch it while you on the go. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Catch them at 8 p.m. They gon' tell you what they know. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Monday through Friday, player. Watch it while you on the go. It's the Mark and Will Show. It's the Mark and Will Show. Catch them at 8 p.m. They gon' tell you what they know.
What's going on, people? How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Mark and Will Show. Hey, tonight got the brother on. The mayor is joining me on the show tonight, so we can go ahead and rock and roll and get into some good topics and actually some fun things that you guys can join along. Something new that we're gonna do today. But you know, it's always good to have the mayor on the show. How you doing, Mayor?
Man, all is well, man. All is well. How about yourself?
Hey man, can't complain. You know how that goes, man. It's Tuesday, got to do Tuesday, so that's very important, um, thing to do. So before we get into catching up with the mayor, we want to go ahead and let everybody know that today we got the awards. We're gonna pop the awards off. This is the winners of our high school awards. So that's definitely coming up. Like I said, we're gonna have some fun. We also gonna dibble dabble, get a update on Southern High School football. I mean, the mayor's here, so assistant coach, he's gonna go ahead and let us know what's going on. And I got some questions, and we're gonna talk about football in general, high school football, period. So just sit back and relax, enjoy, crack your beverage, do whatever you got to do, a Coke, adult beverage, whatever you got to do. It's time to get rocking and rolling. And you guys know how we do it. If you don't, let's go ahead and start it this way. This is how we do social media. Hey, if you want to find us, www.markwillshow.com, but that's not the only place. You can go to Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, all that good stuff. And, I have to admit, I kind of want to apologize to you guys. I got to go ahead this weekend or something, take some time and go ahead and update everything I need to do on the website. The website's code. You can get to any place. You can actually watch this show from the website. So definitely check that out and do that, please. Also, another apology. FNC will be coming soon. A lot of things. Footballs was all over the place this weekend. This past weekend. But hey, we got the mayor. We got to bring the mayor back on FNC. Get those topics, rock and roll with that one. That's a fun show. Like we always say, you can let your hair down. So the mayor, we got to get you back on that show as soon as possible.
Oh yeah. I think we got a bad week coming up. We got one of them Thursday night games.
Okay.
Coming up soon. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's what we talking about. Also, another channel we want you guys to check out is the gaming channel. Actually, it's on Mark and Will Gaming, but also it's on Twitch. So it's on YouTube and Twitch. So just check that out, big time. We're gonna rock and roll with that one. So as we say, let's dive into some good stuff right here. Let's go on and get into the high school. Actually, since the mayor's here, man, give us an update how the season's going for the Southern Trojans. I try to put y'all working together.
Right now, man, like I said, we still in that learning curve. We got a two wins, 3 losses. Lost to some pretty good teams. Like I said, man, we're still in that learning curve because we got a team where I want to say probably 90% has not played football until this year.
Wow.
Because that's Justin going in the building to get the kids out there. So it's up and up. We're young. We have 4 or 5 seniors.
Mm-hmm.
So the future's bright if we can get just to stick through it because you got to go through that rocky part.
Right.
And some kids don't like that rocky part. You got to cry before you walk the foundation. Like I've been telling the seniors that I talk to, you all are going to be the foundation of what's to come. The 5 of you all are going to be the foundation of what's to come.
Right. Let me ask you this. I mean, that's you and I have talked numerous times off the air, definitely. But being that, have you ever been on a team that had that that amount of seniors like that? Only that amount, And what is how's the leadership of that team as far as the players' leadership, not the coaches?
Well, I haven't been on a team with just 4 or 5 seniors. I haven't. The leadership, it's kind of, I'm new to it, so I'm trying to figure it out. I'm still trying to figure it out. And then it's to me, it's the mindset of I'm not a senior, so I don't have to bust my tail this year because I'm not a senior. And
Right.
that's the vibe that I get. But I'm trying to weed that out. Like, yo, this could be gone any day. You can break your leg, you can tear your ACL, something can happen. If
Right.
anything, COVID showed you that you gotta you just gotta go ahead and play
Right. Right.
because it can all be gone like that.
Right. So being at a school, this is your first year there. I also got a new coach who's been on here, Justin, and all this kind of stuff like that. Even though he's been there, um, how hard is it? And this period when you go to a new school, how hard is it to I don't want to say change the culture because it's like I'm not saying that every new school needs that, but uh, is it difficult to be a new coach and to teach your style to new players? Especially players that's been there, but even though you got a lot of new players who haven't played, so how are those some obstacles that you're running through with that, or are they getting through to these players?
It has been with some of the players that's been there. It has been because they're used to a certain way,
Mm-hmm.
and you got somebody that's coming in with a whole new way of coaching, a way of teaching. So what I've been doing lately, I've been talking to some of the players to see how I could better coach them because I know some people can't take certain type of coaching. So I'm going to each, certain kids that I talk to, that I felt that I built some type of relationship with,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm asking how can I coach them? Like, how should I coach? What type of coaching style should I do so that way I'm not getting ignored, but at the same time I'm getting my point across.
Right, right. And so early in the season, so playing against some people. So let me ask you this: did some teams surprise you so far, or I'm talking about from your schedule? Did you think that it was going to kind of go like that, or that the good ones? What team? Let me tell you. Let me say this: what team has on your schedule so far that you guys have played has impressed you the most?
All of them is impressive in their own way, but I'm gonna say Iroquois.
Okay,
I'm
watch
gonna
that.
say Iroquois because what Coach Reed has done over there is simply amazing. He's grew the program tremendously. I think they're sitting at 45 kids on the roster,
Wow.
and that's kind of, and they're young. I don't see them. I think I checked the roster. They didn't have that many seniors. They got a nice ass old line, some nice athletes. I think the thing about them is just trying to keep them together because again, they're so used to losing, so it's kind of like second nature. So, but Coach Reed is like doing a tremendous job just keeping those boys together, making them play hard. Though they're not winning like they should, but he's getting his point across. I know when we played him, he said he set 6 starters because they didn't want to go abide by what he's saying.
Okay.
So they've been impressive. Let me see, Seneca's was impressive. They got some good skilled kids. Basically, just like I said, all of them, the games have been pretty much impressive because they each brought their own certain style. Atherton, I want to say they're probably getting healthy. So, God bless, the sky's the limit if they're fully healthy.
Right.
The sky's the limit for that team. Who else? God bless. Let me see. Atherton, Moore's pretty good. They got some decent backs. Young team. I'm trying to think. I don't want to forget. And Doss. With Doss, I'm not for sure how it's going. I think they won a couple of games. I'm not for sure,
Right. They
but I'm,
putting
I'm the
up some
type.
track meet numbers on some games.
Okay, but I'm the type. Once we done played them, I done lost.
Right.
Um,
Right.
I that's
Oh,
just
that
me.
makes sense. Yeah. No, that makes.
But with certain people and certain coaches, they're like family. So I kind of tend to keep an eye on them,
Right.
here and there.
Right. Uh, I always, and I know you're part of the show, and you have sat in on some of the interviews I've done, but I don't think I've asked you this one. And if I had, things change. Let me ask you this though, cause the mayor, aka the mayor, um, if you could change something in high school football, Kentucky high school football, what would it be?
Me personally, I'm gonna almost say the competitiveness of the games. Because some games, you kind of tend to know the outcome. Because you and I both played the game. You know certain teams, you circle them on your schedule. Like, oh shit, we already know what we gonna do. Shit,
Right.
we got our shoulders off by the second quarter type team. So I would almost kind of base it on how many kids you actually had on your roster to kind of make it somewhat competitive. But I know they can't.
Right.
But it's I don't. It's hard to say because each
Right.
school has their own way of doing stuff.
Right.
Like you can, at certain schools, you can call it 6 o'clock in the morning practice, and you're going to get full participation.
Right.
And then certain kids, some kids got to ride the torque. Transportation home is you know is a big key. Because my last situation, they had a activity bus.
Right.
You knew those kids knew how to get home. I want to say some kids catch the torque, some kids catch ride, so it's kind of hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be certain. I want to say you got to be done by a certain time because if you miss one torque, I don't think the next one's coming for a whole another hour. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So
Right.
you know,
Let me, and this is something I want to dive in just a little bit before we announce our winners of this week's awards. With all the movement that has happened or will be happening with these different classes, do you think we'll ever get back to like when we played when it was only four classes? Because,
no.
and the only reason why I said that is because if you got a lot of movement, and we're saying a lot of movement between the classes. Let's say if you lose three or four or five from the 6A, and they're only going to leave about six in that 6A, is it how's that going to look in football? Like a ton of traveling to these other schools, and a lot of these schools that I thought that's in Lexington that got big numbers, most of them in 5A.
Mm-hmm. One thing I'm realizing is schools are trying. What this is just my opinion and what I'm thinking.
Right.
I think that schools are trying to position themselves to where they can compete.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because certain schools, I think we're 6A. You know, honestly, I don't think we're a 6A school.
Right. Yeah.
Just about number wise, you looking at 30. You looking at some of these 6A schools, and it's like the rosters is ridiculous.
Right.
And I just think because I want to say it's gonna be a lot of schools either dropping down, and then you got to think sometimes the way coaches think, you got to think the 5A is probably the most competitive because you kind of know 6A who's going to try almost be at stake.
Right.
5A it's kind of open. You got certain teams that's in. 1A I want to say is Pikeville. Certain
Yeah.
classes. You kind of know who's gonna be there at the end.
Yeah.
And could Pikeville compete with some of those 6A schools? Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Could Cal compete with some of those?
Right.
So it's just hard to say.
Right. And that's my whole concern is that and really you can't fault a coach or an athletic department if your sideline is bleak. Yeah, we need to go ahead and make that change. So I get it. I'm just in my head. I'm trying to just figure out what it's going to look like when these teams that deserve to move down, and then you're only going to have pretty much six. What's that district going to look like? Is it going to be this one district, and everybody's just got to play each other and move it on that way?
But
That's my whole thing with it.
I don't know, and it's crazy. But you got certain schools that's just dropping just to compete. Like certain schools are dropping just for solely to compete.
Right, right, right,
And enrollment. Because I'm hearing certain schools are going to drop because their enrollment from their freshman year. Their freshman class this year.
right,
So that's going to kind of tend to drop some.
right. But hey, Mayor, real quick, let her enlighten people real quick. Um, you can't drop every year, but ain't it like a certain time frame when you can do it
I
or?
want to. I want to say every 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
I want
Okay.
to say every 3 to 4 years they go up and try to levy to see who's going up, who's going down.
Okay. Okay. And that makes sense. That makes sense. Because
Because
otherwise,
I want to say give or take. I want to say like the boys. I want to say the boys, for instance, they're going. I think they play a varsity schedule starting next year,
okay.
and I don't think they're going to be in a district until the following year. So it's kind of hard to say,
Right. Right. Well, my thing,
how they're going to compete.
I guess that'd be in what 1A. If you go with the Roman, if you
I,
go
I
Roman,
want to say so. I want to say they're going to be down to 1A, but I'm not for sure.
okay.
I'm really not for sure how they're going to do that.
Okay. I got you. That makes sense. Hey, let them kids play. I know they had to build it up and anything like that, so I understand that big time. What's up, D? All right, so let's go ahead and get into these awards. Uh, this week we had some good ones. The kiddos came out and did what they had to do. And like I said yesterday, I just want to let everybody know that we would love for you guys to nominate whoever. And if you don't want to be seen, you can always DM us. We're on Facebook. We on Twitter. We on Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Or my thing is as long as you're just not throwing a name out there, because you throw a name out, I'm not gonna put that on there anyway. As far as that. But we definitely encourage that for the linemen, because that's like the hardest thing. Because like I said, it's easier for me to go ahead and get a defensive lineman and put them on there, because most of them are gonna have some stats and all this kind of stuff like that. The thought process of the Kentucky lineman was with defense, but a lot of it was with the offensive lineman, because no one really talks about them. So please, coaches, players, teammates, nominate your lineman that's is real good and all this kind of stuff. Nominate. I might throw you a question, something like that. But hey, please do that. But
Because
yeah, go
you got to
ahead.
think about it too, Will. Some of these young men are running for 200-300 yards. They ain't doing it by themselves. Somebody got to be up front
Exactly.
setting. Somebody got to be up front blocking.
Well, you know what, and that's funny thing you say, because that's the whole ordeal to me. That's what I'm thinking. Like, okay, well, little Joshua ran for 200 yards. Hey man, go ahead and
Yeah.
talk about that. That's my whole thing. Go ahead and talk about, the offensive lineman and that kind of stuff. Give them praise. You know how you do. So this is trying to give them an opportunity. So without further ado, let's go ahead and say, Mark and Will shows Kentucky Lineman of the Week, sponsored by Straight Eight. Razor is Cal's David Holloway. Congratulations to you, offensive tackle, for Cal doing his thing. Cal is rocking and rolling, and we know they got a good line. So, hey, hats off to you for being Mark and Will Show's Kentucky Lineman of the Week, sponsored by Straight 8 Razor. Thank you, David. Big time. Continue to ball. Next up, we have Mark and Will Show's Kentucky Offensive Player of the Week, sponsored by Tap Out. Is PRP Santana Creighton. Right there, you can see 2 punt returns, 3 carries for 20 yards in the TD, 1 reception, 62 yards in a TD. Hey, congratulations. You've been balling. You've been doing your thing. And shout out to PRP Nation, Panther Nation, for coming out and voting for that. They took care of him, and he deserved it. Next up, you got the Defensive Player of the Week by Tap Out, sponsored by Tap Out. Ferdale's John Blinko. 5 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 block punt, 1 fumble recovery. Ferdale, you already know. We already talked about Ferdale. We know how they support theirs, and they did this one on that one. So congratulations, John, for outstanding game. Next up, last but not least, drum roll, please. Mark and Will Show National Player of the Week, sponsored by Tap Out, is Hart County's Jackson Shoulders. If you can see this, if not, I'm going to break it down. 4 reception, 125 yards, 125 yards, 2 TDs, 15 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1
Mm.
fumble. Jackson is not new to this. He was actually our defensive player, one of our defensive players early in the year. So Jackson is, he's played tight end. He does all that. and he is a straight baller. Congratulations for being a National Player of the Week, sponsored by Tap App. And I'm going to tell you, Jackson, make sure you look at your DM. We got a special gift for you from Tap App. And the thing about it, though, Mayor, is that I love the polls. I wish Twitter would let you do a little bigger instead of this 4. But I love it because these communities, these schools, these players, families, and everybody's get behind and vote. So it's really putting their hands back into, the community. Vote for these players. Support these players. Do what you got to do. So, I really enjoy that. And like I said, you have some communities, some schools who have stepped up and really supporting these players. Are you familiar with Mr. Blinko?
Yes, I am. I've been knowing him since Little League, man. I think I want to say my cousin was his Little League coach, so I've been knowing him for a while.
Okay.
Very the sky's the limit for him.
Okay.
Um, Pretty much all I can say.
Gotcha. Nice height on him and things like that. But I tell you what, like I said, I would love to catch a Hart County game because Jackson goes to work. The first time he was defensive player of the week, and he had some totals like that with tackles, and they was talking about, hey, you ought to see him when he plays offense. Well, that he plays offense, and he put up great numbers again. And I tell you what, man, I'm glad we were able to do this. Can't wait to basketball. You know what I'm saying? Baseball, softball. We're going to open it up and let everybody vote for the winners. Truly make it a people's award. Big time.
Right.
So,
Unlike some of these awards that you get just because you go into places.
Right. Hey, you know how that goes. Without further ado, congratulations to all the winners. We definitely will be posting pictures and things like that on the Twitter account. So let's go on and get it cracking real quick. Let me go ahead and go through these baseball scores. Starting with yesterday, September the 19th, you had the Braves with a win 5-2 over the Nationals. You had the Guardians beat the Twins 11-4. Mariners beat Angels 9-1. Marlins beat Cubs 10-3. Astros shuts out the Rays 4-0. Tigers shut out Orioles 11-0. Mets 7, Brewers 2. Boo. The Giants 10-7 and 10 over the Rockies. The Dodgers with a win over the Diamondbacks 5-2. And also on Tuesday, meaning September 20th today, you have some games that's already in action. You got the Red Sox and Reds, 3-1 Red Sox, 0-0 Braves and Nationals. Cubs is trailing Marlins, 1-0. Astros with a 5-0 lead over the Rays. You got the Blue Jays with a 7-2 lead over the Phillies. Tigers with a 2-0 over the Orioles. Pirates with a 1-0 lead over the Yankees. Mets trailing Brewers 1-0. Rangers with a 1-0 lead over the Angels. Guardians and White Sox rain delay. Twins and Royals 0-0. Dodgers won early in the first game of the doubleheader 6-5. And then later on tonight, you got the Giants and Rockies, Mariners and A's, Cardinals and Padres, Diamondbacks and Dodgers. And so far with the standings, you got the Yankees with a 5.5 game lead over the Blue Jays in the American League East. In the Central, you have the Guardians with a 4-game lead over the White Sox. You have in the West the Astros with a 15 game over the Mariners. In the East, you got the Mets with only a 1-game lead over the Braves. The Central, you got the Cardinals with an 8.5 lead over the Brewers. In the West, you got the Dodgers with a whopping 22-game lead over the Padres. And that is today's Major League Scoreboard and standings, brought to you by 828 Apparel, big time. Now, it was some news that dropped or is really still in the works. We're going to talk about NBA right now. The rumors going around is that the board and the player association, Mayor, is getting ready to open the floodgates back open to 18-year-olds to go straight. If you're 18, to go straight to the pros. They took that away for a while, which, everybody's thinking, like, why is that and all this kind of stuff like that. But this right here, if you don't want to go, college is not for everybody. We know that college not for everybody, but this gives them a chance to go ahead. Now, my questions to you: how do you feel about this? Let me ask you this first. How do you feel about this if this is true?
I'm, it's kind of hard to say because you have all these other avenues now and ways to make money. I think you got that overtime elite. You have those little
Right.
those that stuff that LeVar Ball tried to do.
Right.
That way kids don't have to go to college. So you have ways to, and I think that's just the NBA's way of trying to get back the spearheaded. Because let's be honest, some of these kids didn't want to go to college. But I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna hurt certain college coaches
Mm-hmm.
if they can't get those one and dones.
Right.
So don't be surprised if some college coaches end up leaving because they can't get those one and dones anymore. And now you got to coach and develop.
Right. Right. Let me ask you this, because a lot of people thought, well, you still got the NIL. Is that more of a rule? I guess that's more of a rule for the college to keep players, right?
Nah,
So
uh-uh. I
go
ain't got to
ahead.
go to class. You
Right.
ain't got to go to
Right.
class in the NBA.
Right.
So if I ain't got to go to class, then I can play. I'm
Right.
gonna go ahead and take my shot. There's no point because you got to think even with college, you still got to go to class at least the first semester. So at least the first semester you're going to class.
They should be going to class. Right. You're absolutely right. They should be. But I guess really, if you that one player one and done, because there's always been some one and done players, you know what I'm saying, that kind of stuff, and two and done. But now you can't get paid. But like you said, let's take away from all the drama. Why go overseas? And really, that's another reason why they bring it back. Because all like you said, the overtime, that the different league that it opened up, even going into the G League or even going overseas, they're like, hey, let's cut all that out, bring them back here, and let's get them right off the bat. And I can't blame them. I can't blame them.
But I say this: they better get ready to get some more teams. You gotta get ready to get some more teams, or you gonna start pushing some people out. And like I said, like we talked about there, I also think that this was almost put into effect to get LeBron his year to play with his son and get him on up out of there. Because he's pushing forward. He said he wanted to play with his son. So what better way to do it?
Yeah.
Then next year when his son's done with high school, he's 18, and you can go ahead and push LeBron. LeBron will be the top scorer. He'll be top pretty much everything. So let's go ahead and let him play his year with his son and get him on up out of here.
Like I told Mark before, I'll be that GM to go ahead and draft him right off bat just to make him mad. It's like, come here. We got Bronny. What you going to give up for him? Because we know LeBron wants to play with his son.
Oh
Point
yeah,
point blank. I'll just be nasty and take him and be like, King's ransom. He's here.
nah.
Give me some draft picks, be whatever. Because or are you going to come here for 1 year? And like you said,
See
go ahead, go ahead.
what LeBron should have did. Now that he's on his last little bit, he should have did the Michael Jordan way. That 1 year, 50 million. That I'd have 1 year, 50 million until I was done.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't want no 3 year contract. I'm a 1 year, 50 million, 1 year, 70 million until I'm done.
you might as well because they already give you a 40-something million and things like that a year. So might as well go ahead and do that. And then if I'm a team, I'd rather have him like I don't want to be handy, handcuffed for him for all that millions and years. When hey, everybody hits the wall sometimes. I mean, I'm sorry, they do,
Mm-hmm.
and and get stuck with his son and everything else too. So, yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that this makes sense. Go ahead, should have went 1 year deal and stuff, regardless, like that. But
And who's to say his son's gonna pan out? Let's just be honest. Remember D Wade's son?
thank
He
you.
was supposed to be the next. He was supposed to be the next D Wade, and I think he plays for the Utah Stars, but that's about it.
And yeah, he's in the G League. Didn't go to college. He's in the G League, and I don't even think they
Yeah,
call him up at the end of the season or whatever. So,
he's gonna make the team just off his dad's name. Let's be honest.
well, he got a better chance now because they got a lot of role players. I mean, I like Colin Sexton and everything else, but I mean, that team is,
Hey, it
yeah.
could have been why it was done. It could have been why that trade was done. Let's blow the whole thing. Let's blow the whole thing up. A
Let's
team full of role players.
blow it up, bring my son up, let him get some time, and it is what it is. I like it. I like it for real. All right, let's go on and get into some NFL real quick. Um, let's see. We had a couple of games last night that really wasn't spectacular games. Didn't turn out that way. Bills crushed Titans 41-7. Um, you had Josh Allen doing his thing, Diggs balling. Josh Allen had 317 yards, 4 TDs, 10 yards rushing. You had Diggs with 148 yards on 12 receptions, 3 TDs. I mean, it was feasting. Tannehill and company, and I really didn't want to say Tannehill and company because I really don't respect Tannehill. Tannehill was 11-20, 117 yards, 2 interceptions, quarterback ranking of 16.3. Henry only had 25 yards on 13 carries, 1 TD, long of 9. Willis got in because it was so bad. He was 1 for 4, 6 yards. The game was out of control anyway. What was your thoughts on the Bills and Titans 41-7 game?
I honestly thought it would have been a little bit more competitive than what it was, but Diggs is playing on a whole new level right now.
Decent.
He's playing on a whole new level. And that defense, oh my God, Von Miller to that defense, and I think they don't even have Ed Oliver yet. I
Right.
don't think.
Right.
So once you add him, that defense will just get that much scarier.
Right. And they are officially all in. So if they are missing or lacking something, you best believe when that trade deadline or before, they're gonna go ahead and make sure because they are playing lights out. What about the Titans, man? I mean, are you surprised with this, or what are your thoughts on them?
I think they didn't. 300 carries a year, man. I think it's starting to wear the big boy down.
Right.
Hey, he got a heck of a workout. He has a heck of a workout during the off season, but that's the listen. This ain't high school no more, where you bigger than everybody. Yeah, he's bigger than some of them NFL players, but some of them NFL players is giving him the same thing that he's.
Right. No, you're right. You absolutely
And
right.
then is he still healthy from that foot injury?
True. That's true. We'll never know. And the way they taking that beating, I mean, they 0-2. All right, real quick, let's go to the next game. The next game was also supposed to have been really good. 24-7, the Eagles really dominate the Vikings. Cousins was Kirk Cousins in Philly. And real quick, the guy who I love to hate on, he actually balled out of control. Jalen Hurts, 16 for 31, 333 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Sanders had 17 carries, 80 yards. Hurts had 11 carries, 57 yards, 2 TDs. Uh, Plethora, the receivers, everybody pretty much ate. There was a solid. Wasn't really nobody who really stood out on that one. But when you look at the Vikings, Kirk Cousins, 27 for 46, 221 yards, 1 TD, 3 interceptions, quarterback ranking of 17.5. Darius Slay ended up with 2 picks, I think it was. Kirk Cousins led them in rushing, and that's got bad, 20 yards. Dalvin Cook had 6 carries, 17 yards rushing. Jefferson was pretty much shut down. He only had 6 catches for 48 yards, and Thieneman, who looks like needs to be in retirement home, had 4 receptions, 52 yards. What was your thought on this game, Mayor?
Big game Slay, baby.
Right.
He did, man. That man did some impressive stuff last night, sitting on them routes.
Yeah.
I didn't get to watch all of it, but the portion I did watch, he was checking Jefferson.
Right.
101 coverage, non-safety. You go over and help so on the backside. I got this one. I got this one. But that Eagles defense flew around. I don't see me personally. I don't think Hurts can keep that up all season. I don't think.
I don't either. I don't know. I don't either. But he balled. He balled last night. I give that to him.
Yeah, oh yeah. And it was on Monday night, so he had. Listen, if that man didn't ball on Monday night, he'd have been getting talked about. Like they'd have been
Posted.
He'd have been Can we get Lamar for him? Or can we go get Ted? Can we get Teddy for him? Can we get you see what I'm saying? If he didn't ball Monday night when prime time,
Right.
he'd have been on the chopping block.
Right. Right. Now you right. Real quick, since you brought up Lamar, did you see where he's saying if they try to franchise tag him, he wants to be traded? And the three teams
Good.
are the Lions, Dolphins, and what is that third one? There's another team that he named that blew my mind. The Lions blew my mind. I don't know. No, it was Philly. It was Philly. It was the Eagles, Lions, and the Dolphins.
I'm gonna tell you the dark horse.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Buccaneers. You put you
And,
put him and Leonard Fournette. You put him and Leonard Fournette together with that receiving core.
yeah, that'd be scary.
That'd be scary.
Yeah, and they actually gonna let him throw it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you think about it. You let Leonard Fournette take all the big hits and wear him down. Then you got Lamar coming right behind it. After Leonard Fournette and pounded you, then you got Lamar coming right behind that. That's nasty.
yeah, it is. That is. That is. That's a whole different level ball game right there. Big time.
Right.
All right, before we go to this new thing, I want to go ahead and give you an opportunity to talk about Las Vegas Raiders coming off a loss, a loss that kind of blew everybody away. This is the mayor's team. Lost to the Cardinals 29-23 in overtime, and pretty much I think everybody's seen that highlights and things like that. What are your thoughts on the start of the season for the Raiders, who are now 0-2, has a big game against the Titans this Sunday?
All right. So yesterday, I don't think we was in tune. I think we was worried about the Aces winning. I think that's what was going. That's what happened yesterday. We was worried about the Aces winning the championship so we can party. So that's what I think happened yesterday. So the Aces win, we win. Al Davis, Mark Davis owns both teams. So hey, it's a win-win.
Right, right.
But man, but let's be honest, Kyler Murray, man, they made Kyler Murray look like he was MVP that one game. Just them, just some for real, just not staying disciplined, man. And then just not staying disciplined and tackling them. Like, yeah, you hit them, but did you tackle them and get them on the ground? You
Right.
paid all this money for Devontae Adams, and we're not feeding Devontae Adams.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 catches. I think it was 2 catches he had, and he wasn't hurt. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see. Big game
that's
Sunday.
all right. Listen, I know if we don't win, I'm sending them an invoice.
I bet you are. I bet you.
I'm going to the game. I need gas. I need my gas money back. I need the shirt that I bought back. I need all of that. I need my hat money. I need all that.
What you said? What you said? You said you need all of that. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir.
Something new, something different. You know how we do on the Mark and Will show. We go ahead and do different things. So we got a new thing we're gonna do. We're gonna go through these teams, rapid fire type style. Basically, we're gonna describe the team with one word or one phrase. So let me see. Let me go ahead and clear your name off right there, and let me clear
You
mine
can start with my team.
and do it that. Now, we ain't gonna start with your team. We ain't gonna start with your team. We got you though. We got you. It's gonna be close. All right. First up, we got the Dolphins. Give me one word or a phrase to describe the Dolphins right now. How you see them?
Fast.
Oh,
Fast.
I like that. Um, let me see. I would say the Dolphins. Uh, phrase would be ride or die with Tua. Ride or die with Tua. Everybody trying to cut that man's head off. He's rocking and rolling. Let's see. The Bills. Describe them. One word or phrase.
Defense is nasty.
Um, I would say MVP. Allen is looking like an MVP. It's ridiculous. He's doing some stuff that I didn't think I was going to see that soon. The Patriots. What you got?
Still trying to figure it out.
Um, I would say retirement home. I think Belichick, is over. I really do. I don't care that you beat the Steelers. I just think it's time to go ahead and retire. I do. You had your run. Time to get up through. Next up, the Jets. Jets.
Still the Jets.
I would say Flacco. I would say when is the real Joe show up? We know Joe Flacco is really done, and he's unballed the first two games. So my whole phrase was basically a question: when will the real Joe Flacco show up? Here we go. Steelers.
Mike Tomlin can coach.
What you say?
Mike Tomlin can coach.
Can coach. Um, for the Steelers, I would be like Big Ben. Um, nah, I'm gonna take Big Ben out of it because I know they missed him. I would say that mediocrity. I think it's hard to replace a quarterback, so now they're gonna understand what it means to be like 8-8 and 7-9. Ravens.
Fire the secondary coach.
Ooh, I like that. I like that. Hold my beer. Fire the offensive coordinator. I'm tired of Lamar not being able to do what he do. Get him out of there too. The Browns.
Unpredictable.
Ooh.
Because you don't know what you go get from them.
I would say lawsuit. You basically let these lawsuits ruin your ruin your season. I mean, they're done. Really, when old boy comes back, it's what game 11 or something like that. You trust in lawsuits. Bengals.
They've been figured out.
Super Bowl hangover.
I see that.
Jags.
Little Duval, the comedian.
We should have fired Urban Meyer a long time ago.
Never should have hired him.
Thank you. As soon as he walked the door, you should have said no. Finally got a coach. Let's put it that way. Texans.
What the fudge is going on in Texas?
I would say with Texans, I would say CFL. Can anybody really name a player on their team? I would say CFL, Canadian Football League.
Yeah. What's going on in Texas?
Colts.
A Carson Wentz was not the problem.
Oh wow. Um, I would say um, stop shopping at the retirement home. All these quarterbacks they getting, I mean, granted, Carson Wentz, Matty Ice is making Carson Wentz look good, but hey, you might want to draft one. I'm just saying, you might want to draft one. Titans.
Outside of the run game, nothing.
Um, that's what you get when you let a wide receiver play quarterback.
Yeah.
Chiefs.
Are better without Cheetah.
Ooh-wee. I like that. I really like that. Mahomes on a mission. Chargers.
Nasty defense again. Another team with a nasty defense. Two of your best. You got two of the top edge rushers in the game on one team.
Right. 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 Um, Chargers. I would say. Chargers, and I like them, and I'm trying to think of a word for them. I would say phrase or word coming. I think they coming. I think by the end of the season, you're not going to want to play them. You don't want to play them now, but I think they're really going to start rocking and rolling with Herbert. So I'm like, they coming. You don't want to see them, but they coming. Broncos.
Russell Wilson has no wide receivers.
um, I would say my goodies has expired. Raiders.
Underachieving.
Is this Carr's last dance? Eagles.
Too early to really see the true Eagles.
Um, I would say with Eagles, um, overreaction. I think you got a lot of people putting their money on them to win the Super Bowl. I think this is an overreaction of what we've seen. So kind of like what you said. Giants.
Shocked that they are 2-0.
Hey, we're thinking a lot alike because I'm like shocked the world. 2-0, shocked the world. I didn't see them being 2-0. And it's not like they play the world beaters, but hey, 2-0 is 2-0. Commanders.
Who are they?
Oh, oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a classic. Yeah. Commanders. I would say searching. Searching. That was classic, bro. That was Cowboys. Goodness gracious.
Fire the GM.
The whole kid the caboodle. I would say bargain shoppers. He don't want to pay anybody. Bargain shoppers. He wants to go ahead and draft everybody. Think he can't get anybody from the free agency. Bargain shoppers. Uh, Vikings.
I know they wish they would have kept Teddy.
Ooh. Um, Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. Packers.
Once they find a true number one receiver, they will be scary.
Um, let's say Packers. Let's go with Aaron Rodgers' swan song. The Lions.
Hard Knocks made me look at them totally different. I like what they got going on over there, but they're still a couple pieces away.
For me, I go with Hard Nose. I think that they play tough for their coach. Their coaches, they love their coach and will go through the raw. I think they're a hard nosed team that people are not going to want to play because they're not going to quit. Bears.
Oh goodness, what can I say about the? Still the Bears.
Uh,
Justin Fields look good, but still the Bears.
um, the Bears, I would have to say, um, hibernation.
2 games into the season.
Bucks.
Home of Lamar Jackson next year.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Bucks, I would say, superior defense. Superior defense. Saints.
The Saints. Jameis Winston is going to take them far than what people think.
Woo! We've been close a lot, but I think we're going backwards on this one. Saints, I got Santa Claus. He is the gift that keeps giving. He is Mr. Interceptions. Panthers.
Fire the coach and hire Luke Kuechly.
Ooh, ooh. Um, Panthers. I'm gonna have to go to this for you. This is the advantage that I have. But Panthers, I would describe them as this: Falcons.
You knew it was going to be a rough year for them with that horrible hype song.
Falcons. Falcons. One word other to fade for him. I'm gonna say doves. They're not falcons. They're doves.
Listen, man, they dropped that hype song and everybody and their mama is upset.
49ers.
Too much controversy, quarterback controversy. Because you got Jimmy G starting now they hollering about the backup to him should have been the number 2 backup. Too much controversy with
Like
the
that.
49ers.
Like that. I would say lucky. Lucky for the simple fact that try to get rid of Jimmy G, and I know they're glad they didn't now because even though he may not be the best or the elite, but at least you have a guy who's won some games for you because they really try to get rid of him. Rams.
Waiting on ODB to make up his mind. I mean, what's the name? OBJ.
Yeah,
Whenever Odell make up his mind, that's going to determine the Rams' future.
I hate to do this. I've said this before, and it actually goes with this team as well. Super Bowl hangover. Seahawks.
I honestly think they got up because it was the Broncos, but I don't see too much flying. I don't see too much in the nest.
Um, in Philly is either Geno Steaks or Pet Steaks. I'm going with Pats. Geno's done.
Yeah.
Your team, not your team, but the Cardinals.
Um, it, I think the Cardinals have been figured out. I think they've been figured out. Yeah, the Cardinals been figured out because they'll be 0-6 by the time well, they won a couple games, but I think not having DeAndre Hopkins is going to hurt them right now.
Right, right. Um, I would say for them, um, I would say on the borderline of, well, I ain't gonna say borderline. I would say in trouble. I can go with that. I'll go with in trouble. Um, he can't do it by himself. They have no receivers. I've never been a Connors fan as far as the running back. I think they on borrowed time, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Well, we went through every team, gave phrases, gave one word, all this kind of stuff. Go ahead and make sure you guys, you can put in a comment what you think, one word teams, all that kind of stuff like that. I want to thank B. Cobbs, the mayor, for joining. I know he's a busy man. He's coaching, he's working, he's got a family. So I really appreciate you, brother, for joining me tonight. Big time.
Thank you for having me. Let me give a shout out real quick.
Go
Let me
ahead.
give a shout out to Coach Young. You see, I'm rocking my KWC hat. I was down there to witness his first W. Very exciting. Very exciting. I love his pops, man. His pops his pops said some very inspiring stuff to me. Also give a shout out to Bellarmine when they first got their first dub.
Okay.
Made history. First home game is actually this weekend. I will be in attendance. They playing at St. Next at 4 o'clock, so I will be there to check out Bellarmine to check his sprint football out. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but Scroggins' son is actually on the team now.
On what? On whose team?
Bellarmine's football. He's
Oh, okay.
Scroggins. Yeah. So I'm gonna go check little Jaden out, to see if he still got it. But he's actually playing, on the football team and whatnot. So I'm gonna go. That should be interesting. Leave the Louisville game Saturday. Go straight to St. X to catch Bellarmine.
I wonder if he's going to play baseball too for Bellamy.
I don't, on that level, at football level, it's kind of they say it's not all year round, but football all year round.
Right, 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 right.
And with it being a first year team, so it's hard to say.
Right, right. And it also depends on how really, if he's magical on that baseball diamond, like what I'm saying he was in college. In high school, they're gonna have tug of war. Then they work things out. If he's good enough for that, he will. But hey, you got a busy weekend. I'm hopefully that I can just relax, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. I gotta decide if I'm gonna go to Charleston or go to the Louisville game. We'll see what's going on. But hey, thank you guys for joining. Got a show tomorrow, and Thursday we got Manual High School players going to be joining us. He won the award Lineman of the Week last week. So hey, check it out, and congratulations to all the players of the week. Keep on grinding. Hey, everybody support these teams. Do what they do. Like I said, thank you, Mayor. Peace out.
Thank you. Peace.